Morning, all. All right. Quick news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet as we're between the first and second period of the Boston-Florida game. So, starting things off, Calgary. No surgery needed for Connor Zary. No return timeline has been given at this point either. He's going to go through the rehab process. We'll see how long that takes. The hope for the team is that he'll be back before the regular season is finished. So we'll see how long Zary ends up being out. It's an opportunity for others to jump up in the lineup. It also means that for the Calgary Flames, there's an opening there if they decide to add another forward. And I'm not talking about like adding like a big name forward, just adding a forward to the group as they're near the playoff line. So would you like to see them make the playoffs? Would you not? If you're a Flames fan, let me know your thoughts about that. Do you want to see them maybe? And I'm not talking about like a big ad and trading away first round draft picks. I'm just talking about like at the trade deadline, just adding a little bit of depth and giving the team a chance to make the playoffs in a year where it wasn't expected. Now, the Boston Bruins item on the board. Normally, I do not wear a Boston Bruins jersey on their game days. At least usually. I'm not as strict with that as I used to be with Boston, Vancouver, Dallas, but I used to be. Now, there are rumors of a rift in that locker room. There have been rumors of a rift in the Boston Bruins locker room for a very long time, and yet Brad Marchand says it's not true. And if you haven't seen the interview with Marchand, I recommend you look it up because anybody wanting to know why he'd be the team captain, the guy's a rat. Whenever I see that, I think, yeah, these are people who don't follow the day-to-day with the Bruins and don't know what Marchand does off the ice and what he does in the community and how nice a guy he is. Yes, on the ice, he is an agitator. He makes people angry. But off the ice, I've never heard anything negative about him other than via fans who just don't like Marchand's on-ice antics. Now, he says the rumors of the rift with Pastrnak are untrue. Also, that the rumors of a rift in the locker room are untrue, which, good, all right. And he answers this in a way that I think basically looks pretty legit. He was not swearing. I think he did his best to make sure that he wasn't using coarse language so that people can go, oh, look how angry he is. However, he also said that the person on the podcast who made this comment is still going to have a job, and that's something that he kind of takes issue with, in that you can now, in this era of everybody having a podcast, you can just make something up. You can just throw, and he's saying this guy's making this up. What I think is this is just innuendo and rumor, and it goes from fan to fan to fan, and it happens here in this market too with Vancouver Canucks. And I've heard rumor after rumor after rumor about members of the Vancouver Canucks over the years. And I'm out in the valley. Like, I'm not in Vancouver. But rumors travel very, very quickly within Canuck fan circles. And I'm sure they travel very quickly in the Boston area among Boston fans as well. So what he's saying is that you can go out and you can start these rumors. He's got to go out and answer this. And even though he's saying it's 100% fabricated, that if this person had spent 10 seconds doing, some kind of investigation, some kind of fact checking, he would have found out this is not the thing that Pastrnak and Marchand are best friends. The reason they're on separate lines, and Marchand said this, and I've said this in videos, they don't have a lot of gifted forwards. You've got to spread out the offense on the Boston Bruins. Having them on the same line, it's great, fine, but then your second through fourth lines are really going to struggle to score. And this is a team that's struggling to score as it is. So I never viewed it as, clearly Pasta and Marchand don't like each other. With the whole JT Miller thing in Vancouver, we've seen him yelling at teammates. We have seen him being angry and upset on the ice. And so it's believable, but I've never seen Marchand and Pastrnak go at one another on the ice, ever. I can remember, and I'm sure that if it had happened, it would have been plastered all over every news feed, hockey related, on the internet globally. It just, because Marchand's that kind of lightning rod. So Rich Keefe then posts this interview as well on his social media and says that because Marchand is denying this so vehemently, that proves his reporting is accurate. That is not how this works. That is not how anything works. And I believe Marchand. I do. There was nothing half-hearted about that. It was just honest. He wasn't angry. He wasn't swearing. He was just saying, look, this is not accurate. This is not reporting. even during the segment I saw of this podcast, they're like, well, we're just saying we're not necessarily reporting. I'm thinking, they're covering their bases a little bit here. So it's just this bonkers thing that if Boston starts winning, will probably be forgotten. But it is one of those things in this day and age where somebody will start something, and I've seen it on this channel too, where, oh, I've heard so and so's being traded today. No. Well, I'm pretty sure they are. No. No. That's not how this works. You're not going to see a situation where all the beat reporters don't know what's going on. Everybody across the country doesn't know what's going on. But Jim Bob in Kentucky has got himself, this ham radio, and he's telling you it's just not. It's just not a thing. It's just not. So, at any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I do hope that Boston starts winning so that we can just quietly discuss the rift in the locker room that may or may not exist on some level. I'm sure, like I've said, every locker room has people that don't like one another, but that's just standard and you play through it. That's just the way that works. So Charlie Lindgren's been placed on IR by the Washington Capitals. They have called up Hunter Shepard. Shepard's been good for them when they've called him up at times, so I don't think there's a lot of concern if you're a Caps fan with this. Shepard's been in the organization for a long time, and he'll likely just back up Thompson. Unless there's a back-to-back in there, Shepard might not see the net before Lindgren gets back. I don't think Lindgren's going to be out that long, but we shall see how long he ends up being out. Sam Girard, who did not play in the last game for Colorado. He has an upper body injury. He will not play tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. So that's a loss for Colorado on the blue line. Absolutely. Girard is an excellent top four defenseman. But there's depth in the Colorado organization to make up for that. So I would think that gets Middleton into the lineup, right? So the Vancouver Canucks, it's going to be a tough day for them because they couldn't get out of Carolina due to the bad weather last night. And I did mention this in the review last night, but I'm mentioning this in the news video for people who didn't see that. So they landed in Toronto this morning. So that's going to throw off all of their daily rituals and everything else. And so, yeah, for the Vancouver Canucks, it's a short turnaround between landing on the tarmac and then getting to Toronto. My favorite part was, I think it was Down Goes Brown on the formerly known as Twitter, saying that with them landing this morning, they should arrive somewhere during the second period due to Toronto traffic, which I thought was a good comment. Eric Comrie, good goaltender, not getting any support. He's 0-6-1 in his last 7 starts. The Jets have 11 goals in those 7 starts. So I don't know how you fix that. It's something we've talked about before, how teams play better with certain goaltenders in net than others. It's one of those weird things that's been a reality forever, as long as I've watched hockey. So the Jets are going to have to figure something out when Comrie's in net. I don't think they have as much confidence when Comrie's in net as when Hellebuck's in net. That's my guess, but let me know your thoughts. Also, the Islanders letting everybody know Sorokin's out. He's feeling under the weather. So Skarek has been recalled, and that means Hogberg, I think, would get the start in their next game, but we shall see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support, as always. I will talk to you again soon.